We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting come, yeah. Watching left, right,
left,
left,
right.
Oh, yes.
Well, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon there.
Hey, this is Trench Talk.
Yes, Trench Talk.
I'm one of the hosts here. I'm Sergeant First Class. I'm retiring Sergeant First Class Ferran Dozier. I got my other host over here.
And I am Specialist Fourth Class Marshall, Veneric Marshall. Yes, and another week. Now we supposed to be having a couple of guests.
I'm waiting for the man of the hour to get here.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Mr. Roy Brown from Vets to Vet is supposed to be here.
That guy, I read some information on it. Man.
Isn't he something?
I can't wait to talk to him so I can find out what's his drive. Where did that come from?
Exactly.
Talking about making a difference with the soldiers and the community, and what a fight.
Exactly, and he's still fighting out there. And we need somebody in the trenches.
For real.
That's going to be in there knee deep, elbow deep, get his hands dirty and don't mind, and let these people know.
I think we all have a little bit of that in us. We just haven't discovered it. Of us.
No, and the military brings that out on you.
Definitely.
But once we get back into civilization,
yeah,
we don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a part of us.
Definitely.
We're always going to be able to resort back to it.
Something about that environment, though, that camaraderie, that environment, that structure. A lot of people out of the service, they miss that structure, man.
It is. It is a structure. It is a way of life, and
it's a culture.
It is in itself.
In itself, it's a culture.
And some of the best relationships are made there because the military will put people together who have never seen each other and may have never saw one another until they made that move.
Exactly.
Together, and within the first week, you learn to rely on a perfect stranger.
If there's any race issues, I think it disappears in there.
Exactly, because a lot of the race issues are a product of that person's environment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And what they've been taught and what they see, because the media has a tendency of focusing on the negativity to sell.
Yeah.
So to make it interesting, so that while they are on that particular network, people will watch.
Yeah.
They're not gonna watch if they seeing Harry and Elliot having fun and all that
only for like 30 minutes.
yeah they'll do that just to throw it in there so that the main purpose of them causing conflict and chaos and fear in societies that
it definitely establishes a connection and actually a human connection, because like you said, once you get around all these different races and ages, and it's like, man, you're no different than I am. You have the same fears, the same concerns.
Yep.
Just your environment was over here in the countries and the woods, and mine was over here in the city.
Exactly.
Same issues.
Concrete environment and wilderness, grass and fields and stuff like that. Because I have met a couple of guys who said that they never seen or been around blacks until
they stepped
into the military. So but then they quickly learned to rely on one another. Quickly. So all that they saw, and they found out that what their parents and friends was saying about different races wasn't true.
Not necessarily true. There are some of us who act a fool.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
We all have ours in our culture that
Of
are
course,
that act a
everyone
fool.
has them. They all deal with them accordingly,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So that's the way it is.
I don't know if it's safe to say, I've been screaming about my retirement date and all that kind of stuff,
You have?
I've been, about, when it's supposed to take place, and obviously, not obviously, but I got a phone call this past week, and it's not, as of right now, it's not going to be August 31st.
Oh, okay.
Actually, they pushed it back.
The government pushed it
They
back.
pushed it back, so I think that's a blessing because I'm still active duty for another 50 more days.
There you go.
So, but it's the medical board process because I'm getting a medical discharge, and
Okay.
so it's the medical board process, and the PEB. Once I withdrew this memorandum that I requested, they had me redo it or withdraw it actually. So when I
Okay.
withdrew that date that I requested, it started the process over again.
Right. Exactly.
So now the new date came up. So I'm like,
okay.
okay, I'm like, okay. I was excited about August 31st, but at the same time, I can make October 21st work.
There you go. There you go.
I'll make it work.
There
So
you go.
we'll see as this week transpires if it's actually gonna be the 21st or they may move it forward but right now the email I got says October 21st. So.
Okay. Cool. Well, I had visit the VA hospital. Was it yesterday?
Mhm.
Yeah, yesterday. Before I came here, and to update my disability and all that. My MRI results came back, and it's definitely nerve damage in my lower back,
Mm.
which is not a good thing, but it helps my claim process prove that it's okay. You need to take heed, and yes, I can. I may not be able to work.
Really?
So um, and as we speak, here is
Oh my
the
goodness!
one and only.
I think I need to stand up.
Oh yeah, let's give.
Stand up.
I gotta give a round of applause for this one.
I don't understand, man. I've been waiting to hold on. Where's the camera, man? How are you?
All right, that's it.
Sir, I've heard so much greatness about you. Then I read some information about
Yes.
you. Don't believe it all? Oh, come on. I'm a believer.
Well, what we're gonna do while Mr. Roy Brown takes a seat,
We're gonna
I'm gonna
take a
take the
break?
camera off of me.
Oh, okay.
No, we ain't gonna no break. This is
Oh, no
reality
break. This
radio.
reality radio. We're just going to go
Yeah,
right
we're gonna
into
go
it.
right on into. But I'm gonna put the camera on you right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera for Mr. Brown here.
Man. Can you just sign my arm or something? Just sign my arm. Why don't you just sign my arm, man? We got a lot to talk. We have a lot to talk about. Slide that chair. Yeah, there you go. Get situated right here. How's your drive in?
It was tight, a lot of running this morning.
Yeah?
But you got it taken care of.
Yeah, you got it taken
Right
care of.
on
You
time.
good?
I'm good.
That's good. I want to first thank you. I mean, I know you've been here before, but I've heard so much about you through him and Fulton Tyrone, and I'm just honored to even just be in your presence, sir. I really appreciate you for paving the way for myself and other service members and doing your work, man.
Yes.
I think the thanks go to you all.
Nah.
Well, I have to piggyback on that because Deborah Hayter and Tyrone spoke of you highly, and they even told me that they mentioned me to you. And then when I came in and found out that you was on Josh Lane's show,
I was upset.
Here's to your help. I took it as a faith of the Lord, letting me know that okay, we will be meeting
getting close,
and
huh?
all that, and that this show, Trench Talk, needs to be heard, needs to be seen, so that we can get the message out to these veterans, men and women, children, wives,
Family members.
all that, so that they know that okay, their loved one was not in what they did for this country was not in vain, and that okay, you can get help, and you can get benefits and programs that's available for us.
So you are what this platform was created, my dream, because I wanted a platform where veterans can come together, service members, soldiers can come share their stories, share their experiences, share their military history, and then provide resources and information. And you come today with the whole package.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I think that we all have a part of the package. and
We
if
we
all-
do, but I'm only 43, and I don't know how much older you are, but you served way before I did,
That's
probably
true.
before I could even thought about going into service.
Okay.
And like I said, you paved that way for a lot of us. So the intention I want today is for people to understand that there's a lot of us that care for soldiers. Maybe we haven't discovered it, but I want to find out not just your resources and information, but what was your drive like. So I want to find out, who are you?
Okay.
So let's start let's go all the way back. Can we go back a
Okay.
few years?
We can go back.
Where did you grow up at?
Actually, I grew up between Alabama and here. I got here when I was about 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
My grandparents are from Dothan, Alabama.
Is that right? About
Yeah.
40 miles from Geneva. That's
Okay.
where I was at.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So 8 years old, you come to California.
Come to
What's life like
California.
at 8?
It was different. It was different. You know, there was still a lot of bitterness in the South
Yeah.
during that time, and coming here, it was a big thing. Difference in schooling.
Yeah.
Here we had A and B, um, first, second, third, and I
Mm.
had never heard of that. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, what is a A and what is a B?
Right.
So,
So you said bitterness. What do you mean by bitterness?
well, still a lot of segregation in the
Ah,
South.
for
and,
sure.
And they had just changed. I think we were one of the last schools to change over.
Right.
Last colored school, they called them back then.
Yeah.
So, it was very interesting to come back up, and because me and my brother were kind of outspoken, my mother taught us to be.
Yeah.
She said she better get us out of Alabama before she found us strung up in a tree somewhere. So it was.
So you come
different.
all the way
Come
west.
all the way west.
8 years old.
8 years old. Really enjoyed it. I was at that time kind of smart,
Yeah.
I guess, and I came out my first year here. I went to 93rd Street School
What?
and was treasurer. Moved over to 109th Street School and became.
You was up in the hood.
Yeah, I was way up in the hood.
Wow, you in the 90s and the 100s?
100s.
Figueroa, Vermont.
No,
what?
I was 109th in
Avalon.
I was way east.
That's
Right
by
about the
Locke High
riot
School.
time.
Locke High
I
School
went
is
to
all
Locke
over
High
there.
School. I went to Gompers. I went to Locke.
Woo!
Those were my.
No
back
wonder
we
you
had a
joined the
little-
service. That was a war zone right there. You fit
Oh,
right
my.
in. Okay, so let's not go too far ahead. So
Okay.
that area, 109th over there.
109.
What was junior high school like in that environment?
Junior high school was rough. I think my first year of junior high. In fact, I got suspended the first day of school. That's bad. My first day of junior high school.
Get out of here.
Teacher told me to erase the board. Another cat in class came over to me and told me to, you better give me that eraser. She told me to erase it. I'm erasing it. I'm gonna jump on you. I can't be passing up what the teacher said, so we just got to fight.
What?
We ended up fighting over eraser.
Over the eraser?
board.
Wow.
Got suspended for a day, so that wasn't good because my mama was a single parent.
Yeah,
She didn't play that.
had to take off work and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that-
yeah,
Looking
yeah.
at
You was
another
in double
whooping when
trouble.
you get home.
Yeah, that was double trouble.
Man.
So, it was interesting. Teachers went on strike, and I think that's when I started having some issues because no teachers at school. That means you didn't have to go to class.
Oh.
Right.
kinda ducked off and started hanging out a little while and got over to Locke after graduating from Gompers. I loved
Uh-huh.
because I started acting in Gompers.
What?
Yeah, and we had a little show called The Young Souls. And
What?
I actually did a couple of shows in Vegas.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What was that?
traveling.
What kind of show was that?
It was a director was Robert Crumb. We had a lot of stuff. The Whispers were a part of it, playing a part of the Temptations at that time.
Okay.
We had what was Moesha's father's name? He was one of the stars in it at the
Okay.
time.
Back then.
Yeah, way back. William Young.
Okay.
He was in the Young Souls when it first started. Patrice played the instruments. Reggie Andrews played instruments for it. It was quite a few
What?
people that's up there
Congratulations.
now.
So
with
there's
that.
some talent behind there too.
Well,
You said you were smart.
I was smart. I couldn't act a bit. No, I was- but it was interesting, and we got to go out and do a lot of poetry,
Yeah,
a lot of black poetry culture, and it introduced us to Lions clubs,
yeah,
and at that time we thought it was kind of how young black teens think prejudicial because
exactly.
when we go out to the Lions Club, we didn't see any dark people there, dark skinned people of
Yeah,
color there. So we thought we were just putting on the show for them, and in some ways it was, but it was also giving us the opportunity to spread our wings
yeah.
and to get to know some of the situations that life holds.
Now, I want to kind of see in your life where responsibility showed up. Like, at what age did you have to assume? I mean, you say you had a single parent, so I'm sure somewhere in there you had to be responsible, be at home by yourself. Like, where did
No,
that show up?
if you truthfully,
Truth. I mean, whatever you want to share. This.
truthfully, I left home when I was about 14 or 15.
Okay.
And actually moved downtown LA down Skid Row.
Yeah.
Um, no, first I stayed in the clubhouse. We had a
Okay.
little clubhouse over on 90th and Vermont.
Okay.
I stayed over there and then got a little job at the car wash, a TV car wash.
Yeah.
Car
Okay,
wash.
okay.
I had never did so much hard work in my life. I think I lasted about 2 or 3 days. So,
You was like, nah, forget
no,
that.
no. I was aching in muscles. I didn't even think I had.
What muscle is that, right?
Yeah, well, man, what is that?
Wax on,
Coming
wax
through-
off was no
I'm telling-
joke, huh?
No.
So
It
was
interesting.
responsibility around 14
It
then?
was about 14. I actually went to school until I was about 16 when they found out.
What?
And they called me to the office and told me, okay, you can't go here. I was in lock. We're going
What?
to transfer you to Washington. I'm not going to
To
Washington.
the
So
generals?
yeah. But at that time, it was a gangster. So
Was that worse than Locke?
that was, I think it was about, well, they had one gang, I'm pretty sure, in Washington. Locke had about 4 or 5 gangs. So you were looking for a fight every day, either recess or lunch. It's a boxing match. So
Yeah.
I tried to stay clear, tried to steer clear, which I did pretty well at.
Yeah.
So leaving out of there, I actually left and went to Job Corps
Wow.
in
Okay.
Texas.
Wow.
In
Texas.
Texas. I was born in Texas, but didn't ever visit. I left when I was about 2, so didn't know that
Right.
much about it until I got older. And
Now,
started
how did you
going
get to
back.
Texas at 16?
I actually, Job Corps, I signed
Recruited
up
you?
here,
Yeah.
and they sent us to San Marcos, Texas,
What?
and we was a bunch of clowns, and we were wild. So, of course, from LA, they go down there and pull the biggest robbery at that time in San Marcos history. So they took half of them to jail because went downtown and broke into stores, and then took it and put it in their locker. Okay.
Where else you gonna hide it at, right?
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, and a lot of them were my friends, and it was still kind of tough because on the way down there, we stopped in Dallas. A friend of mine, Arsenault winked his eye and kissed at the stewardess, and they took all of us. 4 of us took us
Wow.
all in the back, and she was Caucasian.
Uh-huh.
And you don't do that. Where you all from?
What?
And we'll put you all in jail behind that.
Oh my
we,
goodness.
We looking around and okay, we're gonna do it. Can you let us go
Uh-huh.
continue on our trip to Texas? So it was interesting going through a lot of the things but I think a lot of that was in building character and
Yeah,
actually
great. Yeah, exactly.
giving me some experience for later on in
And that's
life.
what I wanted to establish, like how you got to be this great man over here through service. I mean,
I am a chosen steward, I think,
definitely.
and all of that comes from above.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be able to tell you, and I don't think anybody. I don't too much believe. I believe that you can get some understanding from knowledge from your everyday life experiences.
Yes.
But without the guidance of the man upstairs,
Who you
it
believe
does you
in,
no
right?
good.
That's
Oh,
important.
there you
That-
go.
That
That's
spirituality
number
is
one.
important.
That's number one.
Definitely. So at 16, you're in Texas. When
In
did you join the
Texas.
service?
I joined the service. I came back from Job Corps after I graduated. Came back for about a month and said, can't take this. I cannot take this. Actually, a judge helped me out.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What? Not one of those. Now we hear about those stories in the
Okay.
paper in the
A
magazine.
judge asked me, which direction do you want to go in?
Exactly.
And I say, well, I want to try to stay on the straight and narrow.
Right.
He said, well, we have the service, we have jail, or you can go back to the streets.
Wow.
And if you go back there, I'm pretty sure I'll see you again. And next time it won't be so nice. I think you should go to the service. I said, well, Your Honor, if you think so, I think so
There you
too.
go. Yeah, yeah. I met a gentleman from who told me that the judge gave him the same kind of ultimatum. He said, well, you can do time for me,
Right.
or you
Right.
can do time for Uncle Sam. Which one you want to do?
Yeah, I guess
That's
that
it.
was the easy one.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was.
yeah.
And of course, I was pretty wild though.
Yeah.
I went and did my basic at Fort Polk, which at that time they were calling Little Vietnam, and it became a war zone because half the guys we were all young, and drill sergeant told one guy something, and he turned around and broke the drill sergeant's jaw.
Oh.
And I say, oh my goodness, you know what, this is worse than home. And some cats were scared
Yeah.
of basic, so one cat tried to hang himself. They let him
Yes.
out. One got to the firing range and turned his pistol around. I mean, his rifle around at everybody.
Yeah, we had one of
I'm
those.
looking at this and I'm saying, okay, what did I get myself? What is this? I haven't gone anywhere yet.
Right?
Look at what's going on.
Let's
Yeah.
let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
When you got off the bus for Polk, what was that experience like?
Oh man. Oh man. Get
Different
out
from the
of here.
Job Corps?
Oh, it was a lot different from the job. Just, what are you boys from? You boys from California. Get over here. Get in line. Straighten up. Get in attention. I'm like, what is attention? Hey, what is this? They said, okay, Mama gone. You at your new home. And
Wow.
Right, right.
I started laughing. Get down. What you mean? Get down, boy. And everybody looking around trying to figure out
What is
talking
that,
about.
right?
He said, you give me 20. Let's push up. We get down. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He said, no, 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 no. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's your first push up. And
Yeah.
I just knew right then, okay, this is not gonna be nice.
But it's something that you said, Roy, that I think everybody says. Like,
Right? At some
what
point.
the hell did I get myself
At some
into?
point. At some
some
point.
point.
At some
It
point.
is.
If it ain't day 1, it's about day 15.
Oh, yeah.
Or something. You
By
know?
day 15, I think I was crying. They had me up against a wall. You know how you crouch and put your back on the wall?
Yeah.
And then I had to cross my leg. And I had to sit like this for about, I guess about 5 minutes and started kind of aching. 10 minutes, you know, I need to get up.
Wow.
15 minutes, tears was coming
Oh
down.
my goodness.
I want to go home.
So, what branch was you in?
Army.
You was in Army?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was pretty rough. And crawling on your stomach in the mud. Fort
Definitely.
Polk is definitely humid.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
This is get you about 1 or 2 o'clock. Get out there, it's raining, pouring down, lightning and thunder. We wasn't used to that either.
Right, right.
Right.
Get on your stomach, grab your leg. Now you're gonna crawl up under those barracks to the other side, and then you gotta crawl around. And you better hold on to them legs. You got to use your stomach. You're wiggling like a snake. Hell, I'm looking up. Y'all crazy.
But do you, to look back at that now, do you see how important that training
that
was?
training was very important.
Do you see how using your abs was important?
The discipline of actually
Your
growing
core?
into the man.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we need some of that out here in the streets now.
Right?
We don't even need to wait till the service. We need to start that about junior high school and actually put some discipline in, because if we don't, we headed down a bad space, I think.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah. A
discipline
lot
out
of
there.
lost souls. By like you said, by junior high, they start to feel as though that they can do things on their own. They want to be considered more responsible, and they don't realize with this responsibility comes some type of responsibility.
Yeah.
To have responsibility, you gotta earn it and be able to show that you can handle it, and they get out of hand with
I
that.
think for me, I didn't realize that there was an impact and a result on things that I did in life until I was like 40. Like I really didn't pay attention that if I did this, that this could impact that, and like you don't pay it like
Well, actually, you caught it younger than I did.
oh
We can go back about 12 years. That was maybe about 45 at that time.
yeah,
That's about when it came to me, about 2000. Actually, when my mother passed.
yeah,
And I guess 6 months later, my brother passed.
yeah,
So they left me here by myself.
yeah,
So it had to come to, and I think I had an enlightening at that time, a spiritual enlightening,
yeah.
which I think had been on me most of my life.
We just don't
because
pay attention. It shows up, but we don't
we
realize
don't,
we
we
don't
don't
pay
really
attention to
realize
it.
it and know what's going on. But I should have, because
Yeah.
my father was a preacher, my grandfather was a preacher, my uncle's a preacher, and my aunt just became a minister. So
Wow.
it's a family full, and I think that I was blessed, or am blessed,
Yes.
and continue to be blessed. And my blessing, I think, comes through blessing others.
Definitely.
And a big thing, I think, that we, as veterans, have to go back into the community. We have to be the fathers to a lot of these youth now,
Definitely.
and show them that there's a different life.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree. I do agree. Because they don't know how to what's the word I'm thinking about, uh, get to that level where they can be out on their own and be responsible, hold down a job and all that. They don't go about it. They don't know how to go about it, so we can show them.
Well, they're not exposed to it. I think a big problem that we have in our communities is exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're exposed to the wrong things.
Yeah.
Our positivity going towards what the media is
Yeah.
putting
We were
out
just
there
talking about that
Yeah.
before you got here.
Yeah,
It's not
The
exactly.
media controls
Exactly.
a lot of
That's right.
influence.
We as people have to go out and let people that are growing up in the city know our history, know what we've been through, and kind of visualize what if we don't start educating each other, not necessarily on academics,
Yeah.
but on life.
On life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On
On
life.
life,
Reality,
on life.
reality though. A lot
because
of times we lose sight of reality, and it's like TV takes reality
That's
out
out-
the
out-
picture.
out
Even
the
reality TV ain't reality TV.
That's
no,
right.
exactly.
So where else you
Exactly.
gonna get it except for in your home, in your environment, that
That's
you
it.
can learn about
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
like that.
And especially like we blacks, we don't no longer teach our young males the road to manhood. You know that step when they reach a certain age to go into manhood and to understand what it is to be a responsible male.
Yeah.
And it's not that we forgot. We just don't do it anymore.
Right.
And something like we were speaking about, Roy, can do that with these young males, as far as get them to understand, okay, you're about to step into manhood, and this is what it is to be a man. And by doing that, by showing these young males the importance of being a man, probably would help them understand the
And
responsibility.
here's where it gets good. Now, what year did you join the service?
74.
Okay, so now we about to get basic training is done.
Basic training is
You
done.
at your AIT school.
I'm at my AI. No, I was supposed to go to Fort Lee, Virginia as a helicopter.
Oh yeah.
Quartermasters.
But before we go any further right there, because it's almost at the top of the
I'm
hour,
gonna take a quick
we're
break.
gonna have to take a little break.
Okay.
But you've been listening to Trench Talk
Trench talk, man.
with your host
I'm starting first class Ferran Dozier, retiring.
and Specialist Fourth Class Veneric Marshall with our special guest, Mr. Roy Brown.
Man.
Yeah, it's definitely I'm loving it. You know what I mean? So we'll be right back after a few commercial breaks.
All right, it's Trench talk.
Yes, we just want to do a little Steve Arrington, you know what I mean? That slave feels so real. Yeah, because featuring Steve Arlington. You know, he used to be part of that.
I'm a youngster, man. I'm 43,
only
man.
Well, we
I
just
kind
wanna tell you
of
something.
remember it in the 80s or something like that.
Yeah, that's the
late
80s.
70s,
Yeah, the
80s.
80s. That was the 80s
Yeah,
sound.
my childhood.
Yeah, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Yeah, so I went in '75, Roy. You went in 1 year. I was supposed to go in '74, but for some strange reason, my last year in high school is when I wanted to act out for some reason. I had the uncontrollable urge to just wanted to like be rebellious, and I had this thing about cutting class. I would cut class, and even on test days, I still cut class. And we were getting our school was overcrowded, so the 11th and 12th graders got out quarter after 12 every day. That wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to leave like 11. You know what I'm saying? 11
Make your own schedule.
Yeah, I
right?
want to leave 11. You know what I mean? 10:30.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All depending on how I felt. You know what I mean? Nah, man, I'm out of here. Boom, I'm out. But I had a young lady who worked in the principal's office, and every cut slip that went to the office, she ripped up. You know what I mean? So I got left back. If I didn't get left back, I probably would have went in '74 as well.
Wow.
Yeah, '74.
Now we gonna at the break we're gonna pick up
Where we left
where
off.
we left off at the break.
Yes, the boot camp.
Your boot camp, the AIT. We're in AIT right now.
AIT.
So
It was on our way to AIT. Actually, I think I got a week in between to come back here
hmm
and then head over to Fort Lee. But
Right.
for somewhere along the line, I ended up about 3 weeks here when I got stopped driving and they took me over to 77.
What?
Called out. That's when Fort Mac was open. They took me out to Fort Mac for the weekend.
Was you
locked
AWOL?
up. I was AWOL.
What?
I was AWOL.
Yeah, because I was going to say you lucky to have a week in between
That's
break.
what I'm saying.
They
How did you?
sent me back. I think
Was
they
it
sent me back.
Christmas break or something?
No, it was just they either sent me back or I was supposed to go to Frisco and get another plane. And I just detoured on back here to LA. It was so close. It was one of those two.
Something happened.
I know that I was AWOL because they sent MPs over here to pick me up at 77 for driving without a license, I think.
What?
They took me out to Fort Mac, put me up at that time they had it gated and had the barracks. Okay, Monday morning you on a plane up out of here to Fort Lee.
What?
I get to Fort Lee Monday, and your helicopter class, mechanic class has started. You going in the quartermaster's assistant storage.
Wow.
Changing your MOS.
No way.
So that's not what I signed up for. That's what you're going to do.
What?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And I didn't really like Fort Lee. I'm thinking it was the winter.
Oh yeah.
And you stepped out and snow up to your knees.
Out there by Petersburg and Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You got
What
nothing
is
but
this?
snow over there.
Man, I wasn't used to no snow.
Dig a California sunshine.
That's it. I'm thinking I'm going out there to enjoy myself. It was cold. It was cold. So we just finished AIT over there, and from there sent me to Benning
Oh.
and went to headquarters command. At that time, I didn't know that I was actually lucky
Okay.
because I didn't go to the north side, go to infantry because they were out in the field all the time.
All the time.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. They all the time.
So I ended up learning the store. So I was running the store, bringing in food, and taking out food.
Oh, okay.
So it was real cool.
Right.
Stayed in trouble once I moved off post, and I just stayed in trouble. Okay, I don't feel like going to work. I think my commander said, Brown, I have never seen anybody get promotions and demoted so fast. I mean, every time you get a promotion, you get demoted, and you come back and you give you a couple more stripes, and you turn around and you get demoted again. What's wrong? I don't know.
What do you think it was?
It was women problem. That's what it was. I mean, it was that, and they kind of let us get away with too much
Yeah.
at that time. And I had a couple of MP buddies, and excuse me, they kind of introduced me to weed,
Okay.
and so we set up half the night and smoke weed, and
Hanging out.
they can go to work. I went to sleep.
Right, 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 right.
I don't know what that is, but I know it makes
Make
me
you
sleep.
sleepy,
but
right?
So you ran a what type of store?
That was a PX. It was
PX?
actually where all of the mess halls send their orders to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you have one is a dry condiment store.
Yeah.
Back where I ran it was basically like a grocery store.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
They send their orders in. We go in.
You pull all
I'd
of
have
it?
someone pull
Yeah.
the orders. We'd send it all and stack it on the cart and then put it
Wow.
on the truck.
Okay.
And every once in a while, I get lucky and get to drive the truck, which at that time I didn't know would come in handy later on.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, exactly,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I also hurt my back there loading that food.
Right.
Because everything comes in cases.
Right.
Exactly.
So, a case of pork chops or a case of chicken or something going to weigh about 150, 200 pounds. And
You slinging them quick.
Yeah, exactly.
trying
Well,
to get done.
we have something in common because I was part of the quartermaster
Okay.
department myself. Supply. Everybody wanted to get to know
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I get you what you need, what you want, what you need, what you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had
I
that
did
in
supply and fuel.
Is there?
Yeah.
common. Me too.
Oh,
Yeah. I was. Yeah.
77 Fox.
You what?
And my 92 Yankee too.
Listen at
Okay. Yeah.
Run it
I'm
up.
a quartermaster.
Yeah,
Quartermaster
quartermaster.
and I got ordinance because of the maintenance.
Right.
Or track vehicle repair.
Thank you, young lady I work with. Little bitty thing.
Yeah.
That was MOL.
Okay.
I say, okay.
Yeah, I used to they call it hot refueling helicopters and
Oh
planes.
yeah, that was the fun.
That was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. That was cool, man. With them Hueys and them Chinooks. You know what I
So
mean?
you all just run up, pop them in, and
Pop them
Pop 'em
in,
in,
pop them
hey.
in.
Hit that static line on there so you don't get
Shot.
so no flames
Shut
get,
them
so
up,
they get
okay.
sparked over there.
Exactly.
Once you
know
get
what
that static line on, it's good. You
I
good.
mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember because they always told just graduated from school and I think it was my first month and they always tell you to check the 5,000 gallon tanker.
Mm-hmm.
So we was out in the field with the collapsed bags and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. You got a fuel farm.
yeah, so I asked the guy, well, what kind of gas it is? He said, avgas. I said, okay. I started pumping it. Then all of a sudden he said, no, wait a minute, no, it ain't avgas. I fucked up about $3,000 worth of fuel. They was like hot. They was hot, but they made turpentine out of it. So I was saved. I was saved.
They recycled it.
They
huh?
recycled that shit. Yeah, they recycled that shit. But that was cool though, man. Doing that
Yeah.
stuff, man.
We got like about 17 minutes or so. So let's kind of fast forward. Fort Benning, what's military life like?
it was cool. I mean, I loved it. I sometimes now think about what would have happened if I'd have stayed in.
Yeah.
I actually broke my kneecap. And I probably would have. They gave me if they operated, it was a 50-50 chance I'd walk with a limp.
Right.
And I said, it might be locking up right now, but I'm not limping. So,
Right.
Right.
Then they offered me my sergeant strike to go to Panama.
Oh.
And that was at the time, I think we were going to get Noriega.
Yeah, exactly.
But we had a couple of guys that had just came from Panama, and they was telling us you couldn't go off the grounds unless it was at least 4 of you, because they were finding U.S. soldiers hung up in trees
Oh my gosh.
and trash cans. So it had to be 4 of you all together.
Wow.
I never got back here, but
Right.
Yeah.
he was letting us know. And I think he told me we'd give you a bonus. It was about time for
Oh,
me
they're
to
trying to
re-up.
yeah. They're trying to get you to stay.
And well, I started thinking that, okay, if I stay, you all gonna operate. So I don't know if I'm going over there or not, and I don't know if I'll be walking with the limp.
Right.
Well, no, I think with the problems right now, I better go home.
Right.
If you wait 4 or 5 years, they'll have an operation that they don't have to cut your leg.
Right.
whatever.
Right.
which didn't work. They had it, but they still cut my leg wide open when
Wow.
after I was back here. So
Okay.
they took out about 7 bones, and there's still one in there that I'm hoping that they got. They done operated 3 times on that knee,
Wow.
and it's
Okay.
still a bone that's caught up in the tissues. But I'm still getting around, and it's still
Okay.
working. So
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Well, we want to because we all running out of time, but
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on what you're doing now.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I was headed.
Yeah,
Actually, I
yeah,
was
yeah,
headed
yeah,
to
yeah.
how did the whole vet to vet thing
The vet to
come
vet
out
program
of
came
that?
about when they told me, I guess around, they told me I had a mental health issues. And, well, okay, let's go to the start of it. They
Okay.
sent me to see a doctor, psychiatrist. And she started asking me questions, and, I'm looking at her laughing to myself.
Right.
She said, "You talk to God?" I say, I know. She said, "Do you hear voices?" I say, "Kinda." "What you mean, kinda?" I say, "Well, I kind of talk to God." And she said, "Oh, does he answer you back?" I say, "Yeah, in
Can
different
you get back closer
ways."
to the mic? Yeah.
Oh, I see it in different ways. He may talk to another person. He may talk through the TV. It may be through the radio. I
Right.
mean, he answers me. She said, "Well, uh, can you come with me?" And took me down to this doctor who later became a, and she said he needs a shot.
What?
And it's an older Caucasian lady. She shouldn't have been working for,
You all right?
but he started laughing, and I'm looking at him like, okay, you're not finna give me no shot. I see these cats walking around here
Right,
trying to
right.
get
Yeah,
shots.
Off the shot.
That's that Thorazine shuffle,
That's
boy.
it.
That's that
That's exactly what
Thorazine
it
shuffle.
was.
Not
Shuffle.
happening.
And she left, and I asked him, "Doc, why you laughing?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You have to watch what you say when you're around here and around certain people because they don't know your culture." I'm laughing
Ah.
because I talked to God too, and He answered me back. But I'm not gonna tell nobody that. So from there, me and him became real cool, and they let me go to a mental health program. In the
Yeah.
mental health program, they met a couple of nurses, and they were so cool. They told me, "Roy, I want you to go to this conference,
Okay.
and we're gonna send you." I go to the conference, meet this big old jolly. No, I was looking at standing back from everybody. Okay, them folks crazy.
Right,
Right,
right.
right, right.
But a big old fat jolly guy came over to me and he said, "Why are you standing away from everybody?" That's how I feel. And he said, we talked for about 30 minutes. He said, "I'm gonna send for you. I got a program we just put together back east, and I'll
Wow.
send for you in about a month to come out." And I'm looking at him. "Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, you one of these folks here already.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
You
yeah.
ain't
you."
gonna get
So,
me. Right. What you talking
so
about?
yeah, so we came back here. I had started what they call a consumer council,
Okay.
but they got a call from DC for everybody, all the VAs, to start a consumer council. So when they got over to the hospital, they had called and said they were going to start a consumer council, but mental health clinic told them, "We already have the council,
Right.
Roy Brown." So they came and we got together working with the staff over there, and we started a mental health council.
Wow.
Just happened to be in about the third meeting, and my phone rang. "Hello, uh, Roy, you need to go to the airport. Your ticket's waiting on you." "What ticket?" "This is the guy you met at the conference. I
Wow.
got your ticket." So I said, "Okay." Called the airport. I had a ticket. Flew back to Connecticut. Man, I met the director of the hospital in Connecticut, Rare Community Care Center.
Wow.
They introduced me to Dr. Herrera, that's who the hospital was named after, and he was a former
Wow.
undersecretary of health. They trained me in about 3 weeks, everything that had to do with the vet to vet program.
Wow.
Okay.
On the way back to the airport, Mo, who's the guy that actually helped them write it,
Yeah.
he said, "I tell you what, Roy, I'm in Connecticut. You're going back to California. Everything east of the Mason Dixon line, I'm going to try to start vet to vet. Everything west of it, I want you to try and start it."
Wow.
And that was about 2004. And now I guess we have about 50 different sites
Wow.
across the country, and it's growing. I don't know how long it's going to last because now the VA has
Yeah,
its
they
own
trying to
system.
get the right,
Well,
right,
yeah,
right.
in
Yeah.
2007 or 8, they
Yeah.
come up with the Department of Peer Support.
Right.
Right.
They threw money at it, So rather than them share the money with Vet to Vet, which does peer support, they want to call Vet to Vet on, okay, we're going to consider it like a AA group or
Oh
NA
my
group.
gosh.
So we're not going to offer them anything, first of all. And we're going to use this to further our peer support. And I don't want, actually, they sent out an email not to use the name Vet to Vet or the name Roy Brown in any of their media.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So, and
Can you talk about? Can you share
We can go over a
with
little
the
bit. We
people
can go over a little bit.
how the program helped other veterans? Like how it bridges that gap?
well, actually, I think NEPIC did a study on it, which is the Northeast Program Evaluation Center, which evaluates any program going into the VA.
Okay.
NEPIC's evaluation said that Vet to Vet is as good or better than any clinical program that's out there. American Psychiatric Association said that Vet to Vet, it was either APA or United States Psychosocial Rehabilitation Association, one of them said that Vet to Vet's the model to use.
Wow.
In 2012, Department of Defense named Vet to Vet as one of their centers of excellence and peer
What?
support.
In
So
12.
in 2012. And so I'm wondering, well, how can the VA say we're not peer support
Right.
if the Department of Defense has us in their book as a peer support?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's money, it's
Of
politics, it's
course. Of
money,
course.
and rather than share it with a bunch of guys that are supposed to have mental health issues,
Right.
if we share it with them, then what's the public gonna say about our the people that we're paying all of this money to?
Right.
And these people basically are doing it voluntarily or not getting paid very much, and a lot of them are using their own funds
Exactly.
to go out and help other vets. So my thought is, okay, let's partner with the community, let's partner with some other veterans group, and we can continue to help vets. We
Definitely.
There you
didn't
go.
get this through the VA. We got this through veterans helping veterans.
Exactly.
So if we can grow like that with veterans helping veterans just at the VA, just think about what we can do in the community and with the families of
The
veterans.
family. Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
That's my
Yes.
passion because the families they get forgotten somehow and they don't get the information. Sometimes that soldier, I was guilty of it. Sometimes that soldier don't pass information to the family.
That's true.
Not
He does.
that it's on purpose, but it's just like sometimes you want to safeguard your family away from it and you don't want them to be exposed to
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But they need to.
They
They
need to.
have to. I
Yes.
mean, we can go to the VA and we can get all of this education and learn all about it.
Yeah.
But we have to leave that VA and go back to that community, to that house. And if they don't know, well, why is he going in his room, sitting in his room, staying
Yeah.
away from
Stay from
everybody?
everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
okay, baby, you need to come out the room. Get your lazy self out of there, boy.
You know?
Yep.
And they don't know that these are just triggers to send us in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we don't educate, and we have to,
We have to.
and I'm
man.
sure just as soon as we get ready to start to, the VA will wait for it to get started and they'll come in with their
Yeah.
programs, which
Okay.
I don't mind so much, but I think that it takes, if you're going to be a part of a team, then everybody on the team should be equal.
Exactly.
So if they're going to share with what they do, they need to share all of it.
Right.
Don't let veterans use their compensation or their monies that they're getting to go out to help you do your job.
Yes.
I
You know.
agree with that. I agree with
So
that. Yeah, I agree. Matter of fact, yesterday I was in study hall. Not yesterday, but Thursday I was in study hall, and I met a young lady. We talked a little bit. Come to find out that her husband is a veteran, a disabled veteran, and evidently he didn't know that through his disability, because I believe she said he is 100%,
Oh.
that she can go to school through his benefits,
Right.
and and he's paying out of his pocket because he
For-
doesn't know
For her to go to school.
for her to go to school
Wow.
because she doesn't know. And I quickly, gave her the information. Said no, all you need to do is ask him to give you a copy of his DD 214. Go to the LAC campus, Building E. That's where the Veterans Department is.
Right.
Let them know that your husband is a veteran, is a disabled vet. Here's his his DD 214,
Right.
and then they can
That's
process.
it. That's a start
You know
right
what I
there.
mean? Where your books and your tuitions and all that can be paid for.
The DD-214 is so important. I make sure when I was doing my administrative work in the unit, like you need to take this. When I would tell them when they in process from AIT and come back,
Right.
like you need to put this. This is one of the most important documents in the world,
Exactly.
and you
They
need to
don't
put
tell
it
you
in the either put it in a safe, put it in a store somewhere, or something
safe
because you
deposit
just
box.
never know when you're gonna need this document, especially the one with the sign with the signatures on the bottom of
Right.
it.
They should
Yeah.
let you know that, and
Yeah.
they don't.
They don't.
No,
They don't.
no.
They
And
say
try
you
to
might
try to
got
get one.
Okay. Oh, what your
Yeah.
records?
What?
Oh, we
Your
can't
records.
find them.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, you
What
gotta-
year? Not even on microfiche.
Okay.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, I was fortunate enough because when I opened up, reopened my claim for my disability, and to put a claim for my PTSD, the school I go to needed my DD 214, so I went to the federal building, and they couldn't find it. Right? Come to find out that the claims department had it, and the guy was like, "No, you don't want them. You don't want me to get it from them because then that's going to make them start all over." I said, "No, no, 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 no." I said, "Leave it right where it's at.
Okay.
Leave it right where it's
Yeah,
at.
no,
Then
don't
you know what I
touch
mean." But he typed up the letters, verifying that I served in the service, and that was good enough for him. Because a lot of them don't know, and he could have easily said, "Okay, here's your D," and then I would be wondering why is it taking even longer
For this to get
to
started.
get this stuff started.
And it happens. It still happens. It happens nowadays. It took me 5 years to realize that I could draw unemployment when I got back from the service. Nobody told me
Wow.
Yeah.
that you can draw unemployment.
Yeah.
So, and nobody tells you that. Okay, you should go out here to the VA hospital and sign up. You need to get your name in the records. And
Yeah.
they also, what I've learned is, get a copy of your records when you get back here. Get a copy.
Yeah, I heard.
of
Yeah, they
all
told me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
medical
records.
records.
Yeah.
They can put them now on a CD, DVD, and you'll need that somewhere along the lines in the future.
Yeah.
And get
Mhm.
a,
Near
keep
future.
a copy of your medical records. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, out of your career, military career, what was the most memorable experience you had?
Hmm.
And the most embarrassing. I just thought that.
Well, it
Give us the
probably
memorable. Give us
both.
the memorable. Oh, it was both.
It was both, and it was trouble. I think about the second or third night I got there, the guys took me to the NCO club.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm coming from LA, so I had my Superfly suit on,
No, okay.
and bought a round of champagne, and then I got arrested. They say somebody had took all the money out the till, and since I had come in and bought everybody around,
Oh, you must have been you.
it must have been me. They
Wow.
kept me over. If it wouldn't have been for the waitress and he came in and he was spending a little bit of money. I just came from home, so
Wow.
I was pretty tough. They kept me in there for about a day, up under a light, and
Old
actually,
school?
old school style. And
Wow.
actually, I got a name from that. They started calling me Dr. B, and everybody knew me. So it turned out that they actually got me more involved or well known at
Wow.
Fort Lee than I could have ever done.
On your own, right?
That's it. So
Right, right.
a lot of the wax or they hey, can we go out? Sure. We go out where? They take me all over town. I got to see the town. I got to meet people in the community there. And that's, I think, basically taught me
Mm-hmm.
that you get to know the community and everything else will fall in place.
Exactly.
Oh
Because
yeah.
They'll,
Yeah.
it's so easy for us to get, okay, something's wrong with him. He's mentally unstable.
Right.
So when people hear that, they're going to say, yeah. But if you're in the community and they know who you are, when they run that to them, wait a minute, I've been knowing him for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I've never seen,
Right.
I've never seen any actions that what you're saying contradicts what I've
Exactly.
known.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
think that we need to get veterans better known in the community so that people can see it's not violence.
Is
It's
there
misunderstanding.
is there training still for the vet to vet program? Like people can come and sign up. Like how do you sign up to be a vet?
If you can give me a call
Okay.
at 323
Okay.
671
Okay.
6878.
Okay.
Then we can start a training. And my next training, I'd like to start in the community.
Can we
So
talk about that?
let's talk about it. And
Let's
How long?
talk
How
about
long is the training?
the training, I can do the training, I would say, in 4 days or say 4 weekends,
4 weekends,
8 hour days.
8 hour days, four
It's
weekends, and you
you
can
will be
train
vet
me
to
to
vet. I
be a
can
vet to vet
train
trainer
you.
where I could go out and talk to
You
my
could do
fellow
it.
soldiers, service members,
That's right.
and educate and help and support, and
I could give you the basics and the foundation. The rest you'll
man,
pick up
as you
as you.
experience,
Yes,
as you
yes.
experience life,
it.
That's
Okay.
right.
man. I know you was.
Man,
Mm.
let's do that.
Yes, let's do this. Yes,
Man,
yes, exactly. Like,
So,
like I said, this was what Farron and I wanted to do with this show. Is to let the community to know. We after the summer semester is over, him and I we're going to visit some World War II vets.
yeah,
okay.
And interview them and get reach out to them and let you know the community know that these guys
they got some stories.
some stories
Oh,
to talk
yes.
They
about.
got some
Yeah,
stories.
Yes,
yeah.
they do.
I
Yes, they
mean,
do.
I met one, and I laughed and cried and all that in like 30 minutes. Like I could not believe this guy, 87 years old now, was 17 on Battle of the Bulge and telling us what. I
What
was
was
like,
going on? Yeah.
Yes,
amazing,
exactly.
Some
amazing
stories
stories.
in that.
So
And we need to hear them.
And we need to
definitely,
hear him. Need to hear him. And also Roy, let the audience know what Vets to Vet will do for somebody.
Vet to Vet has changed quite a few lives. We've had quite a few people that's joined that had attempted suicide that will tell you now that without running into Vet to Vet and running into other veterans and hearing their stories, they found out they're not the only ones that feel that way. And because other sources or resources
hmm
may try to down you for what they can't understand about you,
right,
there's always somebody that can understand it. There's always another peer,
right,
regardless to what you're going through. And we ask you to come in and meet that peer,
right,
hear that story so that you can understand that if we can talk and communicate with each other, we can help each other. And that's what we want to do with all of the veterans' families. A lot of things can be averted just
Okay.
through knowledge of, okay, then that has happened to another family.
right,
So I can see that or hear that. And you get the choices of what you want to work with
right.
from what you hear. And we're hoping that in the trenches are going to,
Well, it was one thing when I met Jeremy Stat at that event.
Right.
He and I were talking, and it was like in the veteran community, you have some veterans who are war veterans, and you have us some of them are non-war veterans, and being able to bridge those gaps because there's not a stigma, but there's a conversation if you haven't been to war. Like I'm not a war vet. I didn't fight a foreign country, but I fought a foreign disease, and I still almost died. I'm 90% disabled. Like I didn't have to go to a country to do that.
no, you don't.
You
And what we
know,
need to realize is that's created by not us, but by those that may not want us to communicate with each other.
exactly.
We have
Yeah.
to understand if the orders don't come from here, they still go through supply.
Right.
If you don't do the paperwork, they don't get the supplies, which means it puts them in jeopardy of their lives.
Exactly.
So it takes a team there, and it takes a team when we get back here.
Exactly.
Because, like you said, growing up in LA, that's a combat zone. That's a combat. I mean,
Yeah.
I've stood in my front yard and been shot at.
Exactly.
So and saw them shooting, but it's still something that we can because communicate with the youth now. They may not communicate with us about a war, but they can communicate with us about that war on the streets.
Exactly.
Oh,
And we
yes.
know what that
Yes.
looks
That's
like
right.
both ways.
Both ways. Exactly, because I knew how
Both
to,
ways.
I learned how to low crawl before I got in the military. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
yeah.
that's important, and I thank you because I definitely want to be a part of that vet to vet program and then help my fellow service members and soldiers in those conversations because I had a soldier, rest in peace, Rory, who committed suicide um, a few months ago, and it's sad because I remember talking to him shortly before that, and he was upset because he wanted to stay in the National Guard, but they wouldn't let him stay in because he had some medical issues. So they didn't allow him to extend. So he forced his ETS day came out. Well, his whole connection to the soldiers in our unit was like, hey, that's my family, that's my life.
Right.
So when he outside of that environment, if he feels everything is against him, and he had talked about committing suicide, but because of it was like, oh, he always talk about he ain't gonna do nothing, until that one day.
Yep.
And it hurts me because after the next day I went to the family to help and I gave all the support I could give, but to know that if somebody would have just saw the sign, if they would have taken that first time he said I'm gonna kill myself as the first time he said that, to pay attention to that.
And that needs to be done. I had a friend, I guess it's been about 3 weeks or a month ago. He committed suicide in the garage, and he had come out to see me. He usually did at least once a week, but he had some issues, and actually, you might have read about him in the newspaper. He had gotten naked on a plane coming from New York, so they landed the plane in Albuquerque and
Wow.
arrested him. And he just told him it got hot, and something told him to take him off.
Wow.
He come here, and I talked to him. We got to be real close, and I got him actually to get into a PTSD program. And he was doing very good until he came out that day, and his brother told me, call me, Roy, they changed his medicine. And wait, then they talked to you. Nobody talked to the family. So they went home that evening. His brother got up early the next morning looking for him and went out to the garage and he had hung himself.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's things like that that to me means that there's something missing.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
have that many people committing suicide
Exactly.
every day.
There's something
Yeah.
missing.
We should be trying
Yes.
anything regardless of who's doing it.
Exactly.
We need some communication.
Yes.
And because you're a clinician, I give you that you've gone to school and you know a lot. But it's
that's
some
just what the
other
books
people-
say.
That's right. There are some
The
people
book
out
says
here
this, but
that has that knowledge.
the book says to do this, but what about when that person, you're in that person's face?
Right.
That
Yeah,
that connection.
yeah,
Who else can connect with another soldier but that? So who else connect that soldier's family but another soldier? Like
Exactly.
we have to. You said you're right. There's something missing, and I believe this. We're responsible for finding out what's missing.
Right. I think
Yes.
we have a good idea. I think that unless we collaborate, and I think a lot of organizations should stop thinking that they should make the choices of who collaborates with you.
Well, before we go any further, I noticed we have a phone call.
Uh-oh.
Could be Tyrone. I don't know.
That
But
might
let's
be
see.
on the phone.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
Yes,
on
it
the
is.
phone with Tyrone,
This is Tyrone.
the roving reporter.
Yes.
What's your 1020? What's your 1020? Oh, he in the car.
Well, I'm out of Indianapolis, Indiana today.
Right.
Okay.
Have you been listening to
And,
this show?
I'm really excited about this veteran taxi, which I need to talk to you, Azan and Danny. The guy's ready to work with us to make it happen. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I spoke to Danny about the veteran taxi, man, and we looking to put that into place and
Yep.
get these
Yep.
veterans some transportation and their family members transportation to these
Right.
appointments. Like, there's nothing gonna stop us once we get some wheels,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Once we get
exactly.
some wheels, we rolling.
Okay.
Exactly. So we got
Fantastic.
Mr. Roy Brown in the house.
What's up, T?
Yeah. How's it going, Roy?
It's all right. It's all right.
We got a living legend in here, man.
Yeah, well, I talked to Mo yesterday. Mo Armstrong was at a ceremony for veterans in Detroit that did a year of training to become peer-to-peer counselors. And so Vet to Vet is really becoming a reality, Roy, and I really appreciate your guidance and support, man, because, you're really making a difference. And you guys should really understand that you do have someone who's making things happen, and I appreciate that, and I think a lot of other veterans would say the same thing.
That's what we want the world to know, man. That
Yep.
Roy, you're making a difference in our community,
You
in our
definitely are.
veteran community. which is the community outside of the,
That couldn't be made without you all and without the roving reporter.
But exactly, right?
That's right, exactly.
From Detroit to Indiana to California to San Diego to San Francisco to Oakland.
That's right, exactly.
I want to roll with you, like Mac 10.
Exactly. So I knew that this dream of this show would actually come to a reality. It's just in God's time, and the three gentlemen, and of course, Tyrone, are the results of this show that was been 2 years in the making, and now is a reality, and this is going to be a very important vessel.
I think I had Trench Talk in my vision, man, for about 4 years, and I had never done anything with it. And then when I came here to do my community outreach show on Mondays, I mean, I literally mentioned that to them, the first month, and they was like, well, hold on, take care of your show. When we'll talk about this veteran show, but they had an idea the same way. They was gonna call theirs Veterans Day, and they were just waiting. I guess it was just like you said, God just
exactly
connected, because I was like, what, y'all Veterans Day? Oh, heck yeah. Like, let's do that show.
Exactly. So
and
I will say that Monday morning I'll send out a email to the vets across the country and let them know what time Trench Talk is on. So
exactly.
we're gonna get a whole lot, quite a few more.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're welcome to come here and share their stories, share their information, and make a difference in the veteran community, servicemen and women,
exactly,
and the families.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'll do that.
Yes, indeedy. So once again, all good things must come to us.
Sandbags.
Yes, indeed. See, Tyrone, he lucked up because we just went over a little bit, and all that. But Tyrone, keep up the good work, man, and keep us informed. Next week, same time, same channel. We have something else going on.
Exactly. Hey, Tyrone, I'll be in contact with you about the veteran taxi, because like I said, me and Danny, we spoke yesterday, and we definitely need the documents so we can see what that looks like. And
it's about to follow through. I got to call up Roy next week and, get everybody on the same page. But, it's happening, and that's in itself was a blessing compared to when we were just thinking about it. I feel the same way. A lot of this seems like the time is right, so let's just move forward.
Let's move forward. We just got to be in action.
Exactly. One more time, Roy, let people know how to get in contact with you and your organization.
Okay. It's Vet to Vet, Roy Brown, 323-671-6878.
Okay. All right, Tyrone, thanks for calling in, man. We'll get back to you another day.
No problem.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. All right.
Thank you.
Problem.
Take care. Take care. Be safe.
Yep. So once again, man, thanks a lot, Roy, for coming out, man. This is just the first of many things that's going to happen from this gathering today.
For sure.
We're going to make things. We're going to make a difference. We made a difference today, and we're going to continue making changes for the best. Okay.
Thank you.
Anytime. I'm going to give you one more a good clap here, for coming in here. It might have been a little late, but after that, man, we always our clothing song is little Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah.
All right, so take care, everyone.
All right.
Yes, I'm Specialist 4th Class Veneric Marshall with my host.
I'm still retiring Sergeant 1st Class Ferran Doze. This is Trench Talk, 13:30 every Saturday, 1:30 for you civilians, right here, LA Talk Live. We're more than just talk. Ustream,
iTunes Radio R&B,
Stitcher Radio.
That's right. Tune
YouTube,
in.
It'll be on YouTube right after the show.
Exactly.
You can watch it there.
Live 365.
That's right.
And Radio Flag. So we all over the world.
iTunes under R&B.
Yes,
LA
indeed.
Talk Live. We're more than just talk.
See ya.
Making a difference.
There you go.
All right.
Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on.